Good morning. Good morning, Man Hour Nation. What's up? Michael Buckheischer here. Chiefs lost 21-17. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off the Chiefs lost. It is Tuesday, here edition of manhourradio.com. You got Factor Crap coming up. Joey Bosa on the IR. Matt Canada's been fired. Kareem Jackson is the dirtiest player in the NFL. Zach Wilson gets benched. But first, I'm not ready for this.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
Pittsburgh Steelers have finally fired Matt Canada. The Pittsburgh Steelers, after many years of the Pittsburgh Steelers fans screaming for changes, screaming that they want their guy out of town, they have finally said, you know what? You guys will get your wish. You guys will get your wish, and Matt Canada has officially been fired as of 10 o'clock this morning here on the East Coast, November 21st, 2023. I said it yesterday, watching the Pittsburgh Steelers game. I sat there and I watched like, man, Matt Canada's offense is just not very good. Pittsburgh Steelers have a hell of a defense. They have a hell of a defense. They did a lot of this, they did a lot of that, but their offense was just stagnant. Like I said, he had a list of plays that he ran 1 through 50. It didn't matter where it has fell. He's like, good God. But Matt Canada has been fired, so maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers can make a playoff push. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers can beat some teams that they have moving forward. Maybe, just maybe, they can figure themselves out just a tad little bit. But who knows? The defense can still mess it up, I guess. I don't know. Cue that intro.
You know on the beat every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speaks go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour. Show over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. We got new merch dropping out there right now. We got the Man Hour t-shirt out there, and the hoodie is going to drop this afternoon. So if you guys are not over there at manhourradio.com, check it out, the merchandise page. You should be, because I put some hard work over there on that merch, and damn it, figure yourselves out and get some merch. But it is Tuesday, so that means one thing and one thing only. We got to lick our wounds. We got to talk a little bit of Factor Crap, but I got to sit here and I got to eat crow. I got to eat crow today because my man WB Ant says, I called the game last night. Fly, Eagles fly. You did, man. I believe you damn near called the correct score. I think you said 27-20. It was 21-17, so you were pretty much spot on. We got Jim Pal in the chat. He says, what's up? What's up, Jim? Jim got that pick as well as right last night. He picked the Eagles over the Chiefs. Jim, I will figure out our totals this afternoon and see if you won the hoodie or not, man. We will see where you are with that. And says XD Gamers in the chat as well. He says, Buck, damn it, just a minute. The Jags are a top 5 team in this league. XD Gamer, I'm not going to admit anything to you because we do the Power Rankings show tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. East Coast time, guys, we will have the Power Rankings for you guys, and you will see where your Jacksonville Jaguars are. Last week, they were not even a top 10 team. So you beat a bad team, the Tennessee Titans. You think that puts you in the top 5? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We will see. Jim Powell also says 4 offensive coordinators since Mike Tomlin took charge of the sideline. Who's calling the play and who really needs to go? Listen, I don't think Mike Tomlin calls the plays. Because if Mike Tomlin calls the plays, I feel like he probably would have been fired a long time ago. Let's just be honest. But Mike Tomlin is the longest tenure coach in the NFL, right behind John Harbaugh. I believe they were hired right at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. But also, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in the NFL. So if you're trying to tell me that Mike Tomlin needs to be fired, I don't know. I guess we can discuss that a little bit moving forward, but I think you're wrong. Ant says Steelers got an early Christmas present. Too bad they still need to keep a QB though. Kenny Pickett's not bad. Kenny Pickett is not bad. I know Hoffy is in the chat, and Hoffy's like, Kenny Pickett sucks. But yeah. So if you guys seen the Wright Fellner guy in the chat, he has officially been blocked. So don't worry about him living his millionaire life or whatever he's done. Whatever. But XD Gamer, WBN says the Jags are not a top 5 team. Jim Powell says the Jags are not a top 5 team in the XFL, let alone the NFL. So XD Gamer, Jim and Ant are not liking your Jaguars on the top 5, and I tend to agree with him a little bit. I tend to agree, but we will see. We'll see how the power rankings fall tomorrow, 10 a.m. East Coast time, guys, right here at facebook.com/manhour, and of course at youtube.com/manhour. We do the NFL Week 12 power rankings. So I got to ask you guys that question. There's a question down there in the Facebook chat is, who do you think is the number 1 team in the NFL right now? Who do you think is the best team in the NFL right now? I'll be curious to know. But it is Factor Crap Tuesday, guys. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of fact. Then we're going to talk a little bit of crap. But we have to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs' struggles last night. We have to talk about the Eagles beating the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Sorry, I'm so distraught. Like, I've been dropping passes all day, and I feel like I'm a part of the Kansas City Chiefs right now. I feel like I'm a part of the Kansas City Chiefs right now because there's literally been things handed to me, and I dropped them. They've been put in my breadbasket over and over and over, and I dropped them. Just like the Kansas City Chiefs receivers last night. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs have been one of the worst second half teams in the NFL this season. In their 10 games that they have played this season, they are averaging 5.3 points in the second half. 5.3 points in the second half. Guys, they have been shut out in 3 straight games in the second half. The Eagles, the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos. They have not scored a point in the second half in 3 straight weeks. Wrap your head around that. Now, I have seen it. Oh, the refs try to give the Chiefs the game. Stop with that. There were a lot of calls on both sides of the ball and a lot of non-calls on both sides of the ball. Let's just call it. Like, stop with the Chiefs are paying the refs BS crap. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. If that were the case, there would have been a pass interference call on that MVS drop. That would have been a legal hands or something. That play would have got played over. Let's just be honest. Let's just call it how it is. But with that being said, guys, I said it in the game thread last night, and I'm going to say it again today. The MVS project, the Marquez Scantling project in Kansas City is officially over. I thought when he came from the Green Bay Packers, I thought he was going to explode. I thought he was a really good receiver in Green Bay. I thought he was going to come to Kansas City Chiefs receiver core and kind of be that number 2, if not number 1 guy. And guess what? He is not. I don't know what is going on with the Kansas City Chiefs receiving core, but it is pissing me off. It is pissing me off so bad that I'm just like, put some stickum on your damn hands or something. Patrick Mahomes is putting the ball exactly where it needs to be. Patrick Mahomes is doing everything he can. Excuse me. He is literally putting the ball right where it needs to be, and you cannot catch it. Tooney, let's flash back to week 1. You had like what, four freaking drops. MVS last night had 3 or 4 drops. It just figure yourselves out. Jesus Christ. Sorry for my cursing, but damn it. Man, the Eagles. I know, the Eagles. Listen, the Eagles didn't play that great either, right? When you watch that game, they had ample opportunities to basically run away with this game, right? Travis Kelce fumble at like the 5 or 10. Great defensive play. I have never seen a picture-perfect peanut punch be a 4. That was a picture-perfect peanut punch, right? They had two guys there. One guy wrapped him up. The other guy punched the ball out. It was beautiful. Textbook. Eagles could not capitalize on that. There was a many drop passes. Hell, there was a time when there was like 3rd and 22, right? The Chiefs do a little dump pass, gain like 3 yards and couldn't move past that point, right? The Eagles needed to capitalize on some mistakes. Now, if the Eagles do not do this versus a team like the Cowboys, a team versus the 49ers, a team, let's say even the Buffalo Bills, if they do not capitalize on these mistakes that the Kansas City Chiefs were basically presenting them, they're saying, hey, take this and run with it. And the Eagles are like, no, we don't want that. This is going to come back and bite the Eagles in the butt. Now, the Eagles are a very, very good team. They are a very, very good team. But you have to capitalize on those mistakes. Let me jump back in the chat here and get caught back up here. Jim says, I had an early morning meeting yesterday. Man hour Hoffy, I bow to your Miami-ness. Wayne G is in the chat. What is up, Wayne G? The NFL Expert Podcast, guys. Check it out every Wednesday, 7 p.m. East Coast time at facebook.com/NFL Experts Pod. Guys, check that out. But Wayne G says best team in the NFL right now is San Francisco. They're playing some really good football. Brock Purdy, perfect QBR. Brandon Ayuk balling out. They're playing some good football. I will give you that. And they're definitely a top 5 team. They are a top 5 team, 100%. Hoffy has a treat for Jim later today. Uh-oh. And then Hoffy asks, was last night game a Super Bowl preview rematch? It would be nice if it was a Super Bowl preview, right? It would be nice if my Kansas City Chiefs made it back to the Super Bowl. It would be nice if the Philadelphia Eagles made it back to the Super Bowl, right? But there hasn't been a repeat Super Bowl game in 30-plus years? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the last one was the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buffalo Bills, right? And the Buffalo Bills, that's when they won. They went to 4 straight ones and lost all 4. Wouldn't it be something that the Philadelphia Eagles went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all 4? Oh man! But was it a Super Bowl preview? I don't think so. I don't think so. The Eagles have a very, very tough slate of games moving forward. Not only do they play the Cowboys again, I believe they play the 49ers. Let me pull up their schedule just to confirm this. But yeah, next up they play the Buffalo Bills and they play the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Seahawks. But the Seahawks are kind of, we don't know what they're going to be. And then a battle and then Giants, Cardinals, and like Giants to end the season. So the Eagles are going to be battle tested, but I don't think the Eagles have enough to make it back to another Super Bowl. I think the Eagles are satisfied with just making it. Let's just be honest. There are teams out there that I feel are more hungry than they are. San Francisco 49ers. Where is Jameson at? I'm talking up your Jackson or your 49ers. They are a very, very hungry team. They want to get there. The Seattle Seahawks are a hungry team. They want to get there. The Lions are a hungry team. They want to get there. I don't know if they will get there, but they want to. When you look at the NFC, guys, the NFC is pretty loaded. Pretty loaded. I mean, you got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys, you got the Detroit Lions, you got the Vikings that are coming up. We're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers here on Thursday. They get hot. They can make a playoff push, right? Then you have the 49ers, and then you have the Seahawks, and then don't sleep anybody from the South. Buccaneers, Falcons, or Saints, any of those teams get hot at the right time, they can make a Super Bowl push. But I don't think the Eagles are going to make another Super Bowl, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to make another Super Bowl. If the Chiefs do not figure out their wide receiver issues right now, they're not going to win another game. They got some tough games moving forward as well, right? When you look at the Chiefs' schedule, they're not very favorable either. They play the Raiders, right? They've already gotten beat by a AFC West team earlier this season, but they play the Raiders twice coming up in the next 5 weeks. Raiders are
Two
going to
easy
get
dubs.
out. And then you got the Green Bay Packers. Not too shabby. Buffalo Bills, and then the Bengals in the Chargers, right? It is definitely not another Super Bowl match. XT Gamer says haters are going to hate, but when we win the division and make the AFC Championship, tell me who's going to stop Duval Nation. Not Butterfingers Chiefs, not Miami. Who can beat a good team that's not on a QB sneak team? XT Gamer, I love how you talk up your Jaguars, but they're not a good team. They're not a good team. You got beat by the Houston Texans. You got beat by the Butterfinger Kansas City Chiefs. You are going to get beat by the Houston Texans. I believe you guys play them this weekend. Then you play a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, and then the Cleveland Browns, and then the Baltimore Ravens, and then the Buccaneers. You could lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. Look out, baby. Right there, 7-8. Then you have to beat the Titans again. Last game of the season on their 4th-string quarterback to make the playoffs. Oh, shit. Hold my beer. Watch out. But we got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend into the show, guys. There's a lot of comments, and I see you guys. I'm not going to be able to get to them all today, but we will get to them as much as we can. Let's welcome Hoffy into the show. Hoffy, what's up, brother?
What's up, Buck, man?
I see you got a jersey there.
Yeah, just everyone's getting a little upset with our picks of the Eagles, but I just want to remind those said people that their asses got waxed by said jersey on Sunday. So
I wouldn't say waxed. It was a good game.
Beat.
It was a beat.
Maybe if they had a somewhat decent quarterback, because Mr. O'Connell is not the guy.
Just enough to win. But, guys, the phone lines are going to be open here now since Hoffy is on the show. So give us a call and talk your shit. 434-468-1234. I believe we have the phone lines all working out here. So hopefully we both can hear each other. You can hear me. You can hear Hoffy when you call. But Jim Powell says Lawrence has cheat codes implanted in his nose, but they usually aren't right. Ooh. Jim does not like him some Trevor Lawrence. Not at all. When you say Trevor Lawrence, he's like, let me crawl into his nose and pick his burger out. Like, it's just ridiculous. Ant says Texans are going to win the division and he's going to be sick. Listen, Hoffy, the Texans are only a game behind in the division. Actually, a half a game. When they play this weekend and the Houston Texans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you think the Houston Texans can run away with that division?
I mean, yeah. I mean, C.J. Stroud can't be throwing multiple interceptions like he did this last game. I mean, you're not going to be able to beat. You can get away with beating the Cardinals, but those are games that are probably not going to be winnable when you do that. But yeah, as long as he continues to protect the ball like he did at the beginning part of this season and continues the ball out, I mean, he's taken slid a couple spots as far as the the top 10 in the QB power rankings, but he's still a top 10 quarterback, and that's more than what we can say for Mr. Big Nose.
Yeah. Jim says, Man Hour Hoffy, I feel like you're trying to say something, but I'm not sure what it was. What? I don't know. You're not muted, are you? No. John says CJ Stroud is the Texans. True. So is Tank Dell. So is Damian Pierce. So is Spielman. Texans are a really, really good roster. But Hoffy, we do got your top 10 quarterbacks coming up here in about 30 minutes. But let's get into a little bit of fact with a little bit of crap. So guys, I have been scaring the old interwebs here, and there is a thing out there when I like to, I guess you can say troll a little bit, but I like to put out a statement, and I like to determine if it is a fact or if it's a crap. So if you are new here, guys, play along in the chat. Be sure to hit that like button. But the first fact or crap of the day that I want to talk about is my man, David's LA Chargers. LA Chargers suffered a huge loss this weekend to the Green Bay Packers, not because of their play calling, which is suspect, not because of the coaching, because it sucks, but on the defensive side of the ball, and that is Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa will be going on IR with this foot sprain. So guys, fact or crap, are the Chargers' seasons done without Joey Bosa? When we look at the Chargers, guys, I feel like I'm a broken record. They are one of the best teams on paper. If you put them on paper versus any team in the NFL, if it was playing on Madden without Brandon Stanley calling those plays and me calling those plays, I'm like, you know what? The Chargers have got a shot. But right now they're sitting at 4-6. Look at their schedule moving forward. They played the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football this week at home. Travel to New England, play the Broncos, play the Raiders, play the Buffalo Bills, play the Broncos again, and then end the season versus the Kansas City Chiefs. For them to even have a chance to even, make a playoff push, they're going to have to beat the Ravens. They're going to have to beat the Patriots. They're going to have to beat the Broncos twice. They're going to have to beat the Vegas Raiders and the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to have to win out. There was no way they were going to do that. So, the guys, this is a crap. Yes, the loss of Joey Bosa does hurt, but their season was over once they lost to the Detroit Lions. Their season was over when they lost to the Green Bay Packers. Their season will officially be over, and they'll be playing for a top NFL pick in this year's draft when the Baltimore Ravens come into town and they wax that ass. Hoffy, fact or crap, or the Chargers season's over without Joey Bosa?
Absolute fact. Their season was over the week one when they came into the season with Deuce Staley as their coach still. Or excuse me, Douche Staley.
Douche Staley. You can't be talking down on that man like that.
He is so bad. I mean, I don't even think he should be coaching the Canadian Football League. That's how bad he is.
I believe my man Rex Ryan said, "Go back to Division III football where you belong." So
that's even a
yeah.
I wouldn't even put him. Yeah, no thanks. Back to high school.
Yeah, I would rather coach high school as well. Jim says, "Crap. They may do better without personal fouls for helmet slamming and tantrums." Not wrong. Joey Bosa has been kind of a loose cannon. I'm not for sure why he's been so cranky lately. Wayne G is in the chat as well, Hoffy, and he says, "Crap. Bosa is a big piece, but as long as Herbert is at QB, they are still in it." What? Wayne G? You think the Chargers are in it? They're sitting at 4-6. So to legitimately have a shot at the playoffs, they're going to need 10 wins. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left. They got to win 6 of their last 7. Hoffy, do you see them beating the Ravens?
No.
No. Do you see them beating the Kansas City Chiefs?
Nope.
So right there's 2 losses. You're out of the playoff picture. Even if you sweep the Broncos, even if you beat the Buffalo Bills, even if you go to Vegas and beat the Raiders, even if you go to New England and beat the Patriots, you're still going to be 5-5 of your last 7. That's still not a playoff team.
I don't think they beat the Bills, and I think they are lucky if they, they'll probably split with Denver with how Denver's playing.
Yeah. Well, the Denver will probably sweep them. Like, split would be a blessing in disguise. Like, damn, what? We can do that? Oh, man. There's some good things happening there in the chat. John says he loves a little bit of Rex Rising, but Ant says Chargers got so many elite players, but just cannot win games. Exactly right. The Chargers are loaded, right, on both sides of the ball. I would take their team on Madden any day of the week. The weak link is the coaching staff. Fire Stanley. Fire him. Fire him. Right? Fire him. Off you say it.
We've been saying it since they tried to tie even before they tried to tie the Raiders. I mean,
yeah.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Their safety out of Florida State, if I recall. But they have Mack, they have Bosa, they have Asante Samuel Jr. just on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you have their wide receivers. Allen tends to struggle to stay healthy, but when healthy, and then you got Eckler, they got Herbert. I mean, they have the talent on both sides of the ball, but they just can't seem to put it together during a game.
So XD Gamer has been a very, very big fan here as of lately, and he loves his Jaguars, but this might be the smartest thing he has ever said on the show, Hoffy. XD Gamer comes out and says, I think the Chargers might be better without Joey Bosa. It sounds controversial, but it could happen. What are your thoughts? Could the Chargers be better without Joey Bosa?
I don't think they're going to be better without Joey Bosa. I mean, he's a game changer. I mean, he's someone that you have to account for in the when you're going up against them. So now they're going to be able to and really what it does is it helps Khalil Mack not get double coverage. And it allows him to go one-on-one and get after the passer. So I don't think that being without Joey Bosa is going to benefit the Chargers. If they were to trade him, get some pieces from him, but just him not being there due to injury, I don't believe that's going to help the Chargers in any way.
So, guys, let me put something out, out here. It was about 5 weeks ago now. The Denver Broncos get 70-pieced on them by the Miami Dolphins. A week later goes by. They release some veteran pieces on their defensive side of the ball. They released Frank Clark. They released some other defensive pieces as well that was kind of older guys, right? And they brought in some young rookies. And they've been balling out. Ever since that 70-piece they put up on the Miami Dolphins, or got put up by the Miami Dolphins against the Denver Broncos have been a very good, I want to say, top 10 defense. They have takeaways. They're balling. They're playing with swagger. Maybe, just maybe, XD Gamer is right. Maybe, just maybe, with the subtraction of Joey Bosa, it gives chance for those rookies, for those young players to get some playing time. Maybe, just maybe, you see a diamond in the rough. But Joey Bosa is a really, really good player, but he is a loose cannon. Sorry, guys, my allergies are kicking my butt. Go ahead.
You said XD Gamer's been like a loyal fan. I mean, he has been, except he decided to take last week off, it seemed like, after I can't remember who they played, but I think it was the 49ers, was it not, that beat the living breaks off of them?
Yep.
So, he wants to be here when his team's doing well, but, he goes into the closet when his team gets absolutely boat raced.
Yeah, so WB Ant says, I bet the Chargers wish that way they would have taken Zay Flowers or Tank Dell over Quentin Johnson in the draft. I mean, obviously they're doing well, right? Zay Flowers is doing well. Tank Dell is really shining in Houston as well. But you have to realize that Quentin Johnson is like a third fiddle receiver. So you aren't going to hear a lot of name about him, but he's been fairly good. So I don't think they would have wished they would have taken him over that. I bet you they wish they would have taken some offensive lineman or a safety or somebody to help him. I don't know, something. But John says, nope, he helped Mac too much. I don't know. I mean, it's true, but Jim Powell says, did it? XD Gamer thinks Lawrence is an elite quarterback as well? Believe so. And John says, nope, I believe XD Gamer, and he bailed last week, and we lost. So, yeah, it is what it is. Moving on. Let's move on to the one and only Denver Broncos. Let's talk about one of the dirtiest players in the NFL, and that is Kareem Jackson. If you guys do not know, Kareem Jackson is a safety for the Denver Broncos, and he has been suspended already once this year for a leading of the head hit, and he was suspended for 5 games, got reduced to 2 games. His first game back, his first tackle back, he lowers his head and catapults himself into Joshua Dobbs. He has now been suspended for 4 games for that hit as well as a repeat offender. Many people are saying, oh, the NFL's soft, yada, yada, yada. Guys, it was a dirty hit. The guy lowered his head, jumped at him, and was aiming to take him out. Let's just call a spade like it is. So guys, factor crap. Is Kareem Jackson the dirtiest player in the NFL? When we look at players in the NFL, defensive players that play through the whistle are deemed dirty players. I will give you that. But when you look at other positions on the field, let's look at wide receiver. You want to see dirty players? You want to see players that are consistently pushing the edge and pushing the envelope? Look at Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs not only plays through the whistle, he plays through the echo of the whistle, and then he blames other people. Flashback to the Jets game. Him and Sauce Gardner were going at it play after play after play. Sauce Gardner finally had enough of it and suplexed that man, power bombs him through the table, 3D style. If you know, you know. Davon Dudley is like 3D time, and they power bombed him. And then Stephon Diggs wants to jump up and talk his shit. Like, Stephon Diggs is the dirtiest player in the NFL, hands down, right now. Now, Kareem Jackson, he is going to be deemed a dirty player because of his hits, and they are dirty hits. But he is going to end up injuring himself very, very, very bad. He's lowering his head and catapulting himself. He's going to break his freaking neck. Figure yourselves out, Kareem Jackson, right now, because otherwise you're going to have a very short shelf life in the NFL. Hoffy, any thoughts about Kareem Jackson? You're muted.
Was the question, is he the dirtiest player in the NFL right now?
Yeah.
I'm not muted.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you. Fix your cords in the back of the microphone. I don't think is already in. There you go.
It's in. It's you, not me.
Definitely not me, but okay.
I mean, if this was the early 2000s and, when we had Woodson and Romanowski and Junior Seau and Rodney Harrison, we'd be talking about this being a solid hit. But with the way the league has adapted to player safety and such, yeah, unfortunately, it's considered a dirty hit. This is going to be, 6 games thus far this year that he's going to be suspended for,
right? If
there's no appeal, or if they don't reduce it. But I would remind everybody that Ndamukong Suh is still in the NFL, and I would say he is the dirtiest player in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, just because he stepped on, was it Aaron Rodgers' hand? Like whatever it is, what it is.
In the nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the meaning that you've been beat. and been playing with the Detroit Lions with a bad team for many, many years. But you brought up players like Rod Woodson and those type of players. Those were good, clean, hard hits. Their helmets were up. They were hitting with their shoulder pads. Those were pitcher-perfect tackles. Kareem Jackson literally lowers his head. You do not see his face mask at all. Guys, go back and watch the play. Google it, YouTube it, whatever you got to do. He lowers his head and then jumps. This guy's going to break his freaking neck. Like, he is dirty, man. Dirty.
Got to do what you got to do to get that ball.
He did get the ball, and he should have been ejected from that game, but it is what it is. John says, the Dominic Iksu. He is the dirtiest player. Jim Powell says Jackson is a protege of Atiq Talib, another Broncos punk. Maybe not the dirtiest. The old line is there. At least I was. All the old line are dirty, especially offensive stupid mothers, right? As a linebacker, man, these freaking linemen would get up under my pads and pinch my nipples all the time. Like, damn, dude, get off of me like that. Linemen are dirty, man. Hoffy, have you ever played football?
Yes.
Have you ever been at the bottom of a pile when a grown-ass man goes in your pants and sticks a finger in your booty hole?
That one has not happened to me, but I've been in some piles with some dirty things going on for sure.
So I will never forget this game. We were at Texas A&M. I'm in the bottom of a pile, nice clean hit, and all of a sudden I feel a tug on my pants. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Feel another tug on my pants. It was cold, probably 40 degrees. All of a sudden, my butt cheeks get really, really cold. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And, of course, you're at the bottom of, like, a pile, and you can't do nothing about it. So, you're like, I'm like, hey, stop it. He's like, stop this, and boof. Seriously, penetration into my booty hole, offensive lineman glove. Dude, I had, like, pine tar dripping out of my booty hole for, like, 2 weeks. It was so gross. And then my coach had the audacity to say, did you like it? What? Come on, coach. Like, damn. Like, and it wasn't the first time it happened that game. It was like the second or third time. I don't know what y'all 12th man does down there in Texas, but man, it was gross. It was gross, man. Randall Allen's in the chat. He says, go Pack, go. XD Gamer thinks Flexor Cock can be really, really dirty. He can, because he's a defensive lineman. Defensive linemen are dirty as well. Do you guys watch the NBA? I watch the NBA during playoffs. Regular season sucks. And I don't understand about this whole in-season tournament crap. What the hell is that all about? I don't know. Randall says, Vikings O-line held all game. Not one call. Who cares about the no call on Dobbs for helmet to helmet? Literally 8 easy offensive holding calls not called. Trash ass refs. Randall, are you a Denver Broncos fan? Didn't you guys win that game? Come on, man. But there are a lot of bad calls. Anyways, moving on. The next factor crap of the day, Hoffy, before we get into top 10 quarterbacks that you have so far this season. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was benched on Sunday for Todd Boyles on Sunday versus the Buffalo Bills, and he has now been demoted not to second string, but to third string. This man may not even suit up for the New York Football Jets for the rest of the season. So factor crap, this was the right move. When you look at the New York Football Jets, they are a team that is, can you say, a quarterback away, right? I said it last year when they picked up Aaron Rodgers. They finished 7-10 last season, and I said, guess what? They're going to be another 7-10 team no matter who their quarterback is. They can have Aaron freaking Rodgers, they're still going to be a 7-10 team. Because they still had Zach Wilson on the team. Because the Zach Wilson effect is still a part of that New York Jets franchise. This is 100% fact. This was the correct move. The problem was it should have happened last year. wasn't it Zach Wilson's rookie season when he come out and I believe it was a press conference after he threw like 3 or 4 interceptions and he's like, yeah, my coaching sucks. The players suck. It's not my fault. It's like everybody else's fault. At that particular time, I don't think Robert Saleh was there yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. But at that particular time, Zach Wilson should have been out of the NFL. He should have been blackballed. He should have been Colin Kaepernicked, right? That is a joke. But this is a fact. Zach Wilson should have been out of the NFL a long time ago. Him going down to third string is a good thing, but it is not fully the right move. The right move is demoting him down to practice squad. But I guess you don't want to piss Aaron Rodgers off too bad because he's supposed to return to practice next week. We'll see. Hoffy, what are your thoughts about the benching of Mr. MILF Hunter himself?
I think it was the right move. I mean, he hasn't, his stats don't say he's as bad as I think he really is. I mean, he's still completing at about, 59.2%. I mean, that's not great, but that's not, there's others that are, completing at a lesser rate. He is throwing almost 194 yards a game, but, 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. When you're throwing more interceptions than you are touchdowns, that's when it really, you're costing your team. And really all they need him to do is not turn the ball over. They have, offensive weapons in the backfield. They have, a former offensive rookie of the year in Wilson. Just throw some slants, get, some jet sweeps. I mean, don't turn the ball over. Allow your defense to, to carry you. And they would be, they could have themselves in a position to win this division if Aaron Rodgers comes back. So I do believe this is the right decision. I do think that it should have been made a couple weeks sooner, but when you don't have a viable quarterback to go with, but I mean, Joe Flacco is out there. Why not? And he knows the system. He's been there. I would have maybe taken a flyer on bringing him back in over.
He decided with the Browns, I think.
Yeah, he did. So maybe we'll see if he still has it. Maybe he'll take over for those the Cleveland Browns and lead them to the promised land and beat XD Gamers Jaguars in the playoffs. But to be determined. But yeah, I do believe that. I do believe Zach Wilson should have been benched weeks ago. So I think this is fact. They made the right decision.
So it is funny that you brought up some stats of Zach here. So in his career, his best game came against the Kansas City Chiefs. Was that week 4, right? He had a 72% passer completion ratio, 245 yards for 2 touchdowns with a QBR of 105.2. In his career, he is below 60 at a QBR, below 60 in percentages, and he has 9 touchdowns to 11 interceptions his rookie year. Last season, 6 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, and this year, 6 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. If any other quarterback were doing that besides Justin Fields, he would have been benched a long-ass time ago. Zach Wilson is just a bad quarterback. Like, he might be a valuable backup somewhere, not in New York, but somewhere where he will never play. So don't send him to San Francisco because he's bound to get injured like every other 49ers quarterback. But yeah, this is a 100% correct move. John says, piss on Aaron Rodgers. Screw that man. Okay, damn. Tell us how you really feel. Jim says, meh. Fact. Gives Roger a home if he comes back next year. So you really thought Zach Wilson was going to start over Aaron Rodgers next year, Jim? Randall says, if Seattle loses to the 49ers and the Packers beat the Lions this week, Packers are the 7th seed. Randall, I talk about that Thursday. So, guys, spoiler alert, I have recorded Wednesdays and Thursdays show because I will be in Kansas. I'm leaving directly after this show here in about 15 minutes. I am leaving to go home to visit my mama and dad. But I do talk about the Green Bay Packers. I do talk about them. Jim says, would you take 4 interceptions a game if you were guaranteed 4 tutties? Percentage matters, and I say absolutely if you have a defense. Hoffy, would you take 4 interceptions if you're guaranteed four tutties?
I mean, what is the latter of the two if I'm not taking that one?
Right.
I take it.
Wait, are
2
those
touchdowns to 0 interceptions or 1 touchdown to 0 interceptions?
Right.
I
mean, are those
No, I don't
interceptions
want
pick
4
sixes?
turnovers.
Are they red zone interceptions? Like, give you some context. But I mean, if you're guaranteed four tutties, I mean that's at least 28 points. And if I have a good defense like the Jets, I should win that game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is. Randall says I got to go back to work. All right, Randall. Thanks for joining us, man. Hoffy's getting ready to give us his top 10 quarterback list. So you guys asked for it. And yesterday I said, wait, slow your roll, slow it down, baby. Hoffy's got the stats for us. Hoffy, who are your top 10 quarterbacks this week? Wait. Let's turn on some music for you, Hoffy. There you go. Get the people going. Who you got?
All right, so we got to give a shout out to Wayne G. He's the one that assists us in coming up with this algorithm so that there's absolutely no biasism, if that is a true dictionarial word. So that being said, we factor in completions, subtract it from incompletions. We add the touchdowns times 5, subtract 10 from, times the interceptions, and then we add in the yards divided by 25. So with that being said, at number 10, we have Washington non-Redskins football team, Sam Howell at number 10.
What? Sam Howell's a 10th? Good. What?
Right?
Wow.
Leading, I'm pretty sure he's leading the league in yards, or at least he was coming into this past week. But yes, with the algorithm, we have Sam Howell, Washington Commanders quarterback at number 10, which I think at the beginning of this year, nobody would have even discussed him. I do think I said that, they would be all right with him at the beginning of this year. I've been on the Sam Howell hype train. I didn't think he'd be playing as well as he has played. But at number 10, we have Sam Howell.
Wait, pause, Hoffy. Damn it, pause it. You were telling me that 4-7 is good? Are you telling me losses to the Seahawks, Giants, Eagles, Giants, Bears, Eagles, and Buffaloes are good? What?
I'm telling you, the quarterback play has been good. It's not his fault the rest of his team sucks, and they shipped off the one and only good defensive player that they had.
Because they knew their offense needed help. They're like, give me some draft picks. Our offense is terrible.
Oh, shut the hell up. This is my show here.
Yeah, and it's freaking wrong, damn it.
Fuck off. Take a backseat. You can complain about number 9 because we all know you're a fanboy for number 9, and that's Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions.
Way too low.
I agree, but like I said, we're taking out biasism, and we're going with Wayne G's algorithm. So if you have a problem with these power rankings, you got to reach out to Wayne G.
You know what?
Make
your own. Put some bias in those things. Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback right now, damn it. Whatever. Go. Number 9. Number 9, Jared Goff.
He's like number 6, all right? Come on. Let's be real. Another one that you're going to be pissed off about, and I'm pretty pissed off myself because I like this guy a lot, and I think we could say right now he's playing like a top 5 quarterback. This week, a couple interceptions, not so great, but at number 8, we have the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud.
I like that. I mean, he is good. I mean, he's definitely not top 5 quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. But those 3, he had 3 interceptions.
3 interceptions.
Week? Yeah. That's probably what really hurt him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was top 5 coming in. Last week when we discussed doing the power rankings, I think last week he was at number 5, and yeah, I think those 3 interceptions dropped him down. Another quarterback with. And I got shit on earlier in the year when we did these same power rankings because his record was, 2-5, 2-4. It wasn't very good. But that would be our number 7 quarterback coming in for this week. The Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson. He has been playing pretty decent of late. 4-game winning streak. I think that's the longest winning streak right now. Well, yeah, right now I think that's the longest winning streak of all NFL teams. Right. But number 7, Russell Wilson. Thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think Russell Wilson was ever the problem. I mean, he's completion like 70% completion rate. He has only turned the ball over four times. Really, the biggest knock for them is like he has not really taken the game in his own hands yet because he gets sacked a lot. I think he's had like 30 plus sacks this season. But I mean, yeah,
Been
Jalen
sacked
Smith's
32 times.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a top 10 quarterback in the league, 100%. Or this week even, yeah.
At number 6, I mean, we might need to put an asterisk next to this, but this just goes to show his body of work over his 8 games before being receiving, his Achilles injury and being out for the year. But at number 6, I have Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Vikings.
Year after year, Kirk Cousins puts up really good stats. Like, honestly, if you would just go basically off of stats, and if you did like a blind stat test, I feel Kirk Cousins would win 9 times out of 10 versus Mahomes, versus Jared Goff, versus Brock Purdy, whoever. Kirk Cousins is actually a really, really good quarterback. He just gets shit on because he doesn't win a lot of big games. So, I don't know. It is what it is.
At number 5, this could be questionable, but I mean, I don't think that his offensive coordinator being fired was necessarily warranted. He wasn't the one that put the 12th man on the field for the field goal. But at number 5, we have Buffalo Bills Josh Allen.
I believe Josh Allen's leading the league in interceptions, and it's like, isn't he? Like,
I mean, Sam Howell's got 12 as well, so
he's definitely leading but
like I don't agree with it, but we're going off of the the algorithm. So when it comes to
does rushing stats get added in there?
No
rushing stats. Okay,
he's throwing for 200. It's just it's completions, incompletions, touchdowns, interceptions, and yards is what factors into it. But he's throwing for 261 yards a game. He does have 22 touchdowns. I think that is leading the league as far as touchdowns. So, a difference of 10, 10 touchdowns more than interceptions. So that kind of off balances. But yeah, I'd rather be, someone like Kirk Cousins, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, or, but yeah. So Jared Goff he's at what? 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So it seems like a lot of the quarterbacks are around, 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Right. But moving on, number 4, we have the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy. After 3 pretty suspect games in that 3-game losing streak, he's bounced back with 2 decent games. So I have Brock Purdy at number 4.
I'm not even going to comment on Brock Purdy. Trash.
At number 3, the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. He's a coach away from having his team in the playoffs. But I digress. Hopefully, at the end of this year they'll realize maybe they'll upgrade Kellen Moore to their head coach, and
that'll be a mistake.
Hey, I mean they hired Douche Staley, so it would still be a mistake, but it would still be an upgrade. But it would be a mistake.
He's not saying deuce like the running back from the Saints. He's saying douche like the soap you use your booty hole to wash with, right? I'm just making sure.
All right, here's where Buck is going to get an absolute hard on. We know how much he loves this guy. Surprised he doesn't have the poster on the back of the wall there where he's, relaxing right now while I...
It's right here.
That's the wrong poster.
Oh.
There's no star on that poster. And this star would happen to belong to the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott coming in at number 2.
Oh, number 2?
Some respect on his name.
Number 2? My guy.
Number 2, your guy.
I've been telling you guys, Dak Prescott's a top 10 quarterback in this NFL, and I get shit on every time I say something about it. But Dak Prescott's a good game manager, guys. Good manager. That's the best name you've said so far, Huffy.
I got a better name coming up. Arthur Brown's gonna love me.
All right.
John Peebles, Jim might not like me so much. But at number 1, we have number 1 on the field and number 1 in my heart, Tua.
Yeah, guys, Tua, based off the stats, Tua is balling out. I mean, he had 300 and some yards last week. I mean, has he had a game? under 250? I don't think so. I mean, he's been putting up the numbers all season long. I mean, Tua is definitely a top quarterback in the NFL right now.
Throwing for 293 yards a game, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 70% completion percentage. I mean, he's only been sacked 15 times. So they've kept him upright. They've given him the time to, not that you need a lot of time to allow those two, absolute studs to just run 60 yards down the field and just throw an absolute Hail Mary to him because they're going to catch it. But, yeah, they've kept him upright. They've given him time. He's gotten the ball out of his hands a lot quicker than he has been. He's bulked up a little bit. So, hey, maybe this is the new Tua. Maybe,
you can't call him thick. Healthy. He'll get pissed.
He's a thick boy. He is Hawaiian. They all thick.
They're all thick. XD Gamer says, I got a good list for you. My list that everyone is, if everybody is like healthy. At number 10, he has Geno Smith. Number 9, CJ Stroud. Number 8, Trevor Lawrence. 7, Dak Prescott. 6, Josh Allen. 5, Jared Goff. 4, Joe Burrow. 3, Jared Goff. 2, Jalen Hurts. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. He says if everybody is like healthy. So I'm not for sure how you're doing your list, but this list is a 100% wrong. Like Patrick Mahomes is not a top 10 quarterback in the league right now. He's playing not great football. Yes, the wide receivers are dropping the ball a lot, but it comes back on him. Patrick Mahomes is not a top 10 quarterback right now. Joe Burrow, not a top 5, not a top 10 quarterback right now. Not playing good football. He hasn't all season long. But the rest of them, to be determined, right? Jim says, Buck, instead of recording shows, you should have just had Hoffy do 2 more lists. I could laugh for the next hour, the next 2 days. Not wrong. Not wrong. But those are Hoffy's algorithms top 10 quarterback list. We'll Hoffy, send me that list. I'll post it on the old interwebs, and we'll see what the people think.
Been Google shared with you.
Send it to me again because that was last week's. I do believe
it's the same exact one. I update it every week.
Well,
yes, I'll send it to you just because.
Tua is good, says Jim, but he won't remember his name to sign his check in 10 years. But whatever, it is what it is. Here, I got the joke thing for him. But John says Jared Goff twice. XD Gamer doesn't have Jared. He does have Jared Goff twice. Number 5 and number 3.
I thought it.
He's so good he named him twice. My man.
Surprised he didn't name Trevor Lawrence 3 times in that.
Jay Julian is in the chat. What's up, Jay? He says, how many quarterbacks can throw 3 picks in a game and still win a game? Goff is that guy. Composed. CJ Stroud just did the same thing.
CJ Stroud.
So, literally at least 2. Dak Prescott has done it. Patrick Mahomes has done it. Russell Wilson has done it. But it is what it is. And then XD Gamer comes out and says, Sam Howell is not better than Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence. As of right now, he is. As of
body
right
of
now,
work
he
this
is.
year,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
but
going into week 12 of the NFL season, I would take Sam Howell over Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence.
I'd take their stats. I wouldn't take him personally. If if we're doing a NFL draft, I mean, if we're doing, a fantasy football draft right now, and we're going off of what they've done this year, then yes, that's where we're at with that. But if I get to start over with the New England Patriots and I'm given a choice, Howell versus Joe Burrow, I'm taking Joe Burrow.
Listen,
really, I'm taking.
You put Sam Howell on the Cincinnati Bengals, I bet you he does better than Joe Burrow. You put Sam Howell on the Jacksonville Jaguars, he does better than Trevor Lawrence.
Come on now.
Come on. Where are my
right.
keys? Where are my khakis?
You might be right, but I'll never admit it.
Jay, my brother from another mother, he says, and I quote, let me make sure to get this voice ready. He says, by the way, MVS, catch the ball. My man, Jay, you are 100% right. Catch the MVS, you are the biggest I've seen you. If you don't catch the ball one more time, I'm just going to... Damn it, catch the ball. We out. Sit us out, Hoffy.
In our nation, rise up.
See you guys tomorrow. Power Ranking Show.